Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm currently Jedi-less. If I have my normal volume level with you, Jedi would come trotting up here, and maybe she will, eventually. That's just a little warning shot to everybody. But I thought I'd start it with just you and I. With just you and me. Yes, you and me. That's the way that I should say that. I've been used to saying well when someone asks how I'm doing. I don't just say good, because you're not doing good unless you are doing good, like for the world. You're doing good for the world. But if someone asks you how you're feeling well, if you are. Of course, my blanket answer is usually ducky. For years it was peachy, until I realized that's just not a good word for me, because I hate peaches. So, as I was thinking about TLDR today, the Locker Room Daily Report, happy to do this live with everybody here, as well as with the members who will be popping up behind me. They usually don't find out until I am actually streaming live, and then they pop in. And you can see now we've had membership on YouTube. You press the join button. We've had it for at least 2 months, because some people have Biker Scout helmets. They've been around for 2 months, and members supportive. Thank you for that. Yes, it's Ask Me Anything, so that is true for anybody who's watching and has a question. Ask me anything. It's really what the foundation of TLDR is. But, in terms of, me scouting around for various deals, especially as we ramp up into this holiday season, I'm very much looking forward to it. I do every year. Life Day is almost upon us. Can't wait. I realize that there is an incredible lack of Star Wars stuff out there. You've probably not noticed, I'm confident. But me? Oh yeah. No, I'm just like, where's all the Star Wars stuff? Well, there's no movie to promote. And Disney's service, the Disney Plus service, hasn't really yet ramped up. So there's an incredible lack of new Star Wars stuff. I mean, there's some older things, which is great. And we've had those in the past, but I could not find, or cannot find, at least domestically, a Star Wars Advent calendar, apart from like ones that are years old. I'm sorry, let me put a finer point on it, because this is actually getting to the root of my question for everybody, my call for help, if you will. I can't find a Star Wars chocolate Advent calendar. Not that we'd be pushing for it, being vegan, but Jedi kind of had fun with it last year. And more importantly, I have found 3 different types of Star Wars Advent calendars, wondering if there's more. The first one, of course, the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar, an absolute staple. They used to really have really cool, unique minifigures, but they really haven't done much with unique minifigures in the past couple of years. They've kind of phoned it in. It's rather disappointing. But, get some minifigures in the set, and I'm certainly happy. So Lego Advent Calendar, Star Wars Advent Calendar, I found half off already, and that's a big deal, especially for Star Wars stuff. The second Advent Calendar, Star Wars Advent Calendar, I found is the Microforce figures. Hasbro has a Microforce Advent Calendar they just released. Happy about that, because I've kind of gone back and collected those. Those used to be known as the Battle Pod Battlers. They just rebranded them as blind bags, so it's kind of like a blind Advent calendar. Each day is like a figure, and I guess they'll be producing like 6 or 8 unique little figurines within the Advent calendar, which is kind of neat. And then the third Star Wars Advent calendar that I found is one that's only available in the UK. And I found this because it was, again, on sale, and it was through some website that does both UK and US stuff. Coins. Every day is a commemorative coin, an actual metal coin. So I have that. I have those 3 Star Wars Advent calendars. The Lego, Microforce, and coins. All officially licensed. The one I don't have is a chocolate Advent calendar that I think would be fun for Jedi. More importantly, my call for help is not just, hey, if you find something Star Wars in your country, yeah, tag me. A couple of you guys have done that on Twitter. I've seen some of the things. But certainly if it's unique to your country, you may not know. I mean, the thing is, I won't know either unless, you let me know that you saw something. If you know of any other Star Wars Advent calendar, clue me in. I don't really feel like paying too much for the Advent calendar, the chocolate Advent calendar right now, because it's kind of like 3 times as much as it would be if I bought it locally, and it's a year-old milk chocolate, so it's kind of like, not as motivated for that. But if you know of any other Star Wars Advent calendars, please, like, seriously, I mean, tis the season, right? And yes, to me, the season, it used to just begin at the end of, the day after Thanksgiving, right? Black Friday. Now it's like, as soon as Halloween's over, to me, it's Christmas. Like, it's the whole holiday season, right? Wicket disagrees, but he's an a-hole, so... what do you want? So that is really my call for help. If you know of A, any cool Star Wars stuff that you can get in your country, clue me in on Twitter, just tag me. B, if you know of a Star Wars Advent calendar that I have not named as of right now, and it's new in your country of origin, please let me know. I like those. I like the idea of the Microforce and the coins, because the Lego sets. Lego bricks are Lego bricks. Getting some minifigures independent of a full-on set is also kind of fun. But I'm a huge fan of the figurines, and the coins are really, that to me is like, wow. I hope they do that every year, because that is an absolute must-have. I know some stores sell 12 days of socks for both men and women. I don't think they have one for kids, but there's 12 days of socks. Way ahead of you there, so I've got those. So thank you. I forgot that, but that's mostly for Jedi and Diana to kind of share. I don't know if Jedi's going to fit in them. Diana wears them, though. She does. I've got my Jedi slippers, thanks to Earl Green. These are the very comfortable Jedi slippers. I'm not wearing them right now. I mean, my feet aren't that cold, for one. And for two, I do have two of these. I have a pair. But I don't want to wear out the bottoms, and that's my biggest fear. I did that, I think, with some Darth Vader slippers years ago, and they had the same kind of bottoms, and I don't have a backup pair. So thank you, Ricky, for wishing a happy Friday, and Earl. Hey, speak of the devil. Not to say that you're the devil. You're not. No one's the devil that I know of out there. I could be wrong. I realize that this week has been somewhat of an anomaly for me in relation to the things that I wanted to do for everybody out there, because it has been a busy one. And I've said this, and I keep telling you all this, and I know many people are listening and most people aren't, but I've been spending a lot of my extra cycles, my energy, on a startup team. And, as I said, we've got roles that have been filled. We're pushing forward with a prototype / MVP. We are moving forward at a relatively rapid pace, and hope to have something for everybody to look at come Q1 2019. So after the holiday season, we wouldn't want to launch anything during the holiday season, because it would be lost in the shuffle. But come January, that's our hope, or that's of course our intention. I apologize. So that's sucked up. And in fact, as we wrap up TLDR today, I still have at least one more thing I've got to flesh out, a document that is in relation to the launch preparations and schedule and considerations, something that came up at our one of our meetings this week. But I'm not going to get into the details with you on that. But it's true. I can't talk about a lot of that right now, and not just because I think you may not be the audience for it. But I'm just setting expectations, because I guarantee, like a year from now, when we're up and running with that, people will wonder what happened to me. Nothing happened. I clued you in, going all the way back. It just takes time. Anything worth doing takes time, and it takes finding the right people and putting the right resources together to make something happen, especially when you're talking about something like a platform that could be potentially transformative in terms of the approach that we're taking to solving problems that I've experienced, and specifically the way that I would like to see the problem solved. I mean, that's kind of the idea with me being not just a subject matter expert, but kind of leading the charge as a CEO. Earl, they are perfect slippers. They are. They need to have like an advent calendar of slippers. It'd be a big advent calendar. The socks thing, I'm glad they stuck to like 12 days of socks, but it's actually a bargain. Like $15 for licensed socks, for 12 pairs of licensed socks. It's a little less than, maybe, or a little over than a dollar a pair. A little over. That's pretty good. That's really good. Like all sorts of socks too, like crew socks and ankle socks and all sorts of socks, both male and made for men and women, whatever that means. The boxes are really neat too. I'd show them off, but they're getting ready. I kind of have to hide things around here come this time of year. Still keeping an eye out for stuff for Jedi and Diana. The problem is that they like food, so I've got to find food for both of them. It's kind of funny, but no, of course vegan by and large, especially for Diana. Not so much for Jedi. Jedi's more a vegetarian than a vegan, but that's really, really funny. Welcome, John Beaumont Pike. Love your avatar. I think I even have that little Lego minifigure. That one. Speaking, I was talking about Lego. See, it's relevant to the community. Started a job recently which requires good time management. Interested to know how to manage time management between family, workload, morning routine, etc. That's all about to change, honestly, Ricky. The way I managed time independently is different, of course, than when I was with Diana, which is different from when Jedi was being raised, which is different from, where we are now. Right now, my routine hasn't changed that much. I mean, because as much as we're plowing forward with the startup, it's pre-funding, so we have different needs in a different work cycle and things that we're doing independent of one another. We coalesce or come together, a couple times a week, and of course are constantly in touch with one another. I'm a big believer in finding something that works, and this was a challenge for the longest time, even with TLDR, to the point where, even earlier this week, I will admit I totally spaced on it come Monday. Tuesday, I had to film a sponsored video that has not been published in this channel. I referred to it, I think, yesterday or the day before. I meant to do it, of course, in TLDR when I have an open schedule. It's like, okay, we'll just pop it into the afternoon. But it's still a priority, but I tell you, I've had so many tasks, not stacked up, but I literally woke up with 3 tasks. Without even getting out of bed, I knew 3 things I needed to do immediately, and this is before I could have a cup of coffee. 3 things that I needed to do. So I try to find patterns when there are no patterns, and to fall into them. This is where it's going to be, I think, a bit more of a challenge. As much as I'm a big believer, a proponent for remote work, working from home, I've done that for 22 years. Some of the people that we're talking to have done that as well. You will also have, office space. Office space. I want to build a studio, honestly. So I just know what I need to get done, and I know how to prioritize and juggle, and generally speaking, that works out well enough. Today, it was having to, not just do the things I needed to do for the startup, but I told you I'm not done. It was knowing, okay, before I go to bed, I want to get TLDR out. Before I go to bed, I want to get an email newsletter out, or at least attempt to. It's not going to be great, I'm sure, for most people, but I also wanted to get this other document done before going to bed. But the bulk of the afternoon was spent helping Diana prepare for, I guess there's going to be a party at some point in the near future, a pre-Thanksgiving something or other. I don't have the exact detail in my head. It's in the calendar. We use a family calendar so we can see kind of what's going on with each other's day. But then Thanksgiving, of course, is happening next week as well. So I've been, looking for sales, finding what we can eat, and bringing them so that Diana could oh, this is where it is. I'm a bargain shopper. Not to say that Diana isn't, but I kind of know. I have this implicit knowledge of where to get things on sale. It's true. Found a box of stuffing with few ingredients, no oil, for $2. It was great. And I think we even had it last year. It was fantastic. Not that I remembered where it was, but ran into it today while grocery shopping. When where we go, we kind of know where to hit in the area. I saved, at least off of normal retail pricing, at least 50 to 75% off with new groceries, fresh groceries, like fruits and veggies and stuff like that. Of course, some fun stuff too. I got a 24 pack of ramen for $4 because Diana sometimes likes making little ramen noodles. I figured a nice little. She's like, "Why'd you get that?" Well, it's 24 packs for $4. That's great. Like, 5 for $1 is usually a pretty good deal. So, like, I thought, you know, why not? That turns out to be a good deal, right? Yeah, because you get... Yeah, that's a good deal. Seems like it was a good deal. It's ramen noodles. It's the cheapy stuff. It's not anything all that exciting. Have I ever been interested in Star Wars Disney Infinity models? I have, as a matter of fact, to the point where I'm thrilled about the Toy Box series. Oops, sorry, little Vader. Sorry, Diecast Vader. Did not mean to topple you here. Here's the Vader Toy Box model. All of this was modeled after the Infinity series. So personally, if I had a preference between the Elite series from Disney and the Toy Box series, I'd choose the Toy Box series every time, not only because of higher points of articulation, I just like the general style, the sculpt. It's just more fun than the Elite series, which has been hit or miss, quite honestly, for me. I like the droids in the Elite series, but the Toy Box series, absolutely a tremendous fan of. And they're priced reasonably for what you get. I mean, depending on when you buy them or buy into them. But yeah, I'm a fan. The Infinity line, of course, had bases. It was made for Disney Infinity, but I'm glad they continued with the sculpts and the stylings of this particular line, and I hope they continue to do that. And I've actually, now that you mention it, it's funny. Swear to God, this wasn't prompted. They just released Yoda, and the Yoda has both a hologram Yoda, or I guess maybe not a hologram, but yeah, Force Spirit Yoda, and the regular Yoda, stylized much like you might have seen him in Clone Wars too. But yeah, this is not the definitive list. There's also Boba Fett, a TIE pilot I didn't even know existed until I went to the store the other day. Of course, Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie. Some of them are newer, but I think this is number 10. They're just getting started. I don't think they're going to crank them out like, you know, hand over fist. But you can get them, you know, on sale if you watch for good pricing. I wanted to open this anyway. Jedi was begging me the other day. Open. Let's open. Can we open this? Are you doing a live video? She asks every morning. Are you doing a live video? I am. So give me a second. Now that you brought it up, I'm so glad you did, because it gives me an excuse to tear into it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this, right? We're still over 100 members. Thanks for asking. I haven't done any like hard pushing for it either, and I recognize a lot of the content that I do is, you know, it's really super specific. Not specific to a genre, but specific to me and my interests. So just to give everybody a little bit of context, the Toy Box series encompasses, you know, Disney cartoons and Marvel's characters, and then of course Star Wars. So it's pretty comprehensive. But honestly, between all of them, the only one I'm interested in is the Star Wars. But they've got the Wreck-It Ralph stuff, Vanellope's in there. You know, the Marvel heroes might be interesting to you as well. Yeah, there's the TIE pilot that comes with the TIE. It's only available as the TIE fighter. I kind of wish they would have put different characters with the Falcon, because they already had Han and Chewie available independently. You know, I wonder if they could have put maybe a Lando, although that's not the Lando Falcon, but like BB-8 or something else that may be indicative to the Falcon's owner. Like L3 and Lando would have been nice to come with the Falcon, but they would have had to style it like the Han Solo movie Falcon. And despite that being relatively new, the Han Solo movie, just not a lot of merch. It had problems even in the hubbub around the film. It was an incredible lack. So I think they're giving the market a rest for 2019, and I expect 2019 to be like gangbusters come the end of the year for Star Wars stuff, kind of like the way it was for The Force Awakens. If only because, you know, we'll have been at least 2 years since we saw some solid Star Wars stuff, plus Disney Plus, and then Episode 9 will be happening almost a year from now, a little over a year from now, theoretically, unless they change that. I'm looking forward to all of it, naturally. Oops, gotta be careful here. The lightsaber is taped down. Word of warning. Be careful about that. You might bend it. I bent my Wookiee. There we go. Got the Yoda out, theoretically. Oh, he's also... Dang, dude. They tied him in with twisty ties. They taped down his lightsaber. And they had him down with one of those plastic restraints. Like a restraining bolt. The lightsaber doesn't exactly grip well in Yoda's hand, though, which is a little curious. Huh, okay. The hilt is a bit loose. I like the fact that, of course, you can pose this Yoda. Pretty nice. And the nice thing is, as well, I mean, Jedi can play with these figures, and I have no problem with it, because, they're open. Nice little Spirit Yoda. This is a bonus. Like, I'm glad they did that. Like, I expect C-3PO to come with an R2-D2, like a 2-pack. I almost would prefer them coming as a 2-pack, but I'm glad they did this, kind of like a little bonus, because they could have just easily put just this Yoda in there, and I'd have been fine with it, but I'm even happier having a Spirit Yoda. Although, it's interesting, just to point this out, Yoda's Spirit has a cane. So the cane is a spirit? I don't... I'm not exactly sure how that works. No articulation, so to speak, apart from maybe the head on the Force Yoda. No, not even the head. No, that's it. That is it. But yeah, this Yoda looks nice. He's ready for action, all spinning around. Yoda when he's using the Force there in the Attack of the Clones. Nice Yoda. Very good Yoda. Clean Yoda. Not that I was a fan of the Yoda figures necessarily, but I'm not going to complain. It's a little bookmark, a little bonus little bookmark for Yoda. It's a little flimsy piece of paper, but Jedi might have fun with it. What Marvel heroes are on that sheet? Well, you should take a look. Of course, going to the store or their website, although it's not the best experience. They have, let's see here, since you asked, Thor, Captain America, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Wasp, Thanos, Hulk, and a couple more coming soon there. So whatever probably they're currently marketing. It's a wide array. Because the Ant-Man had been recent. It's interesting they didn't have any more Guardians of the Galaxy on that checklist. But any more here on the back? Oh yeah, the Toy Story lineup. You've got the Toy Story figures as well. Oh, Hulkbuster. You can get the Hulkbuster and Hulk set. That's what I'm talking about. A Spider-Man car. Yeah, so anyway, so that's Toy Box. Thank you for asking the question. It got me to talk about something that I enjoy. Little bummed when they discontinued it. Always more interested in the models rather than the game. John, dude, how did you not know? Oh my God, John, I just exploded your collection. I don't even get the credit for it either. You trust me. You don't have too much catching up to do. I wouldn't say they're hugely popular, but you should be able to get them easily enough. What's the modeling like on those? The 3.0 series of Disney Infinity was surprisingly detailed. I would say pretty much Disney Infinity quality. Like it either meets or exceeds the level of detail that you would have seen compared to the figures on stands. Like I said, it was disappointing for me too, because I ended up getting those figurines and let Jedi can play with them. I let Jedi play with them. She can play with them. But it was like, man, why? This would have been really neat to have as a figure line. And they did it. So, yeah, that surprised me as well. I was looking forward to it. They don't really have a rhyme or reason in terms of release schedules. But I don't expect it to be, a huge line like Hasbro's line. But I do hope they stick with it more. Certainly, like I said, I enjoy it a lot compared to the Elite series. But I think just because of playability and sculpt. So 32 and counting. That's how many. See, I didn't get I had to limit myself extremely, like especially with collectibles. Like I've had some other things in the past and still kind of do, but over the years, kind of limit it to, all right, well, just Star Wars. There's only so much room that we have, and there's some things that we have that aren't Star Wars naturally. But it's like I could get them all, but kind of need to limit it, if only because everybody needs limitations. Otherwise, man, you can't keep up. Like with Pops, the Pop vinyl. Oh, here's another call for help. Funko, of course, has Pop vinyl, but there is a new wave of Star Wars Pop vinyl. I don't get them on a regular basis. Maybe on sale I would, but I do chase the Vaders. And I wanted to show you something. Thought I had it, but maybe not. Give me a second. I saw this in the store and I asked a friend who would be in charge of stocking in the store. But there's a Darth Vader, a holiday Vader pop, but there's a Chase variant on this Vader pop. So look, you can see this Vader's holding a candy cane. It's new. There's a Chase variant that'll have a sticker on it and say glows in the dark, because there's a glow in the dark cane Vader that's a Chase. That's the one I'm looking for. I can't find it. It's rare, to the point where you can get it online for like 14 times the amount. Maybe not that much, I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but of course they jack up the rates if you don't find it in person. So if you find the Chase variant in a good box, because I'm a box collector of the Vader, let me know, like immediately. Like do not pass go. Like that is something that, you know, I've been looking for actively. Here's the thing, if you're not a collector, don't become one. You know, don't. It can be fun and rewarding, but it never ends. It never ends. But speaking of never ending, I am going to go ahead and end this with y'all now. It's close to dinner time for me, and I don't know what Diana's preparing, but I'd like to find out. So I kind of clean up my area. I have to kind of move on and complete other tasks before bedtime. I've had a headache most of the day. Yesterday I woke up at like 4 in the morning, had a headache towards the end of the day, went to sleep early, kind of woke up with that headache, eye strain, and just being tired, but took I don't know what it was, ibuprofen, acetaminophen or something, and for the most part it alleviated the symptoms. But yeah, I'm still kind of not feeling great. Thought I was getting sick earlier, but then I got my second wind. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate you paying attention to the call for help of the Star Wars Advent Calendar lookouts, as well as Star Wars stuff that I might not see that may only be available in your country, and then potentially that Darth Vader pop variant to Chase. Thank you, or Chase variant, I guess is another way of putting it. I love you. I appreciate you, and at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.